Even as a child, I never felt like I belonged here. I always felt like I belonged someplace else. I've never really felt comfortable in this world. And I've always had this feeling or this longing for home, but never quite sure where or what that was. If you've ever said something like this or felt it so deeply that you couldn't find the words for it, this video is for you. And this is one of the most common things I hear from clients or people who find me online. It doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, or what your background is. This feeling is much deeper than that. And I've definitely felt this myself. And following that feeling is what led me deeper into understanding who I truly am. If you've been on a spiritual path, you've been doing the work, and yet this feeling has never quite left you, stay with me, because I want to offer you a completely different way of understanding what this feeling really is and what it's telling you. Many light workers have told this story so many times that it's become part of their identity. I never felt like I belonged here. But when you tell that story long enough and often enough, it stops being an observation and becomes a limitation. It becomes a burden for you to carry. And you start feeling like a victim in this world rather than someone who chose to be here. And when you feel like a victim of your own reality, you lose access to your power to consciously create it. If you're new here, aloha, I'm David. I work with people who are on a spiritual path and who resonate with Lemuria, unlock their spiritual gifts, and accelerate their spiritual growth. If that sounds like a fit for you, there's a link down below to book a clarity session with me, and we can talk about it. Okay, let's get into this. When you have that feeling that you don't belong here or that you're longing for home, what is that really? Well, I can tell you it isn't homesickness for a place. It's a longing for a state of being. It's the larger, wiser, non-physical part of you, your higher self, whispering to you from the other side of the veil. And that feeling of not belonging, it's not some kind of problem that needs to be solved. It's a call that needs to be understood and answered. Listen, you may have forgotten this, but you chose to be here. This lifetime is no accident. It was entirely your choice. You are not here against your will. No one forced you to incarnate. As the non-physical, eternal you, you made a choice, a deliberate, intentional choice to incarnate into this human experience. You actually planned this lifetime with passion and purpose. And acknowledging that truth is one of the most freeing and empowering things that you can do for yourself. You are not a victim of this world. You are a conscious creator who chose to show up here. Now let's talk about where home really is. We've all heard the saying, home is where the heart is. It's a cliche, but it's true at a much deeper level than most people realize. Your heart is your direct connection to your own higher self. That's why your heart always knows what's true for you and you alone. So home, the real home, is your higher self. That's where you came from. That's the state of being that you're longing for. Your higher self exists in this pure state of love and light. It's part of the Creator's love and light. It is pure, unconditional love. And your higher self has access to anything and everything in the universe that you could possibly ever need in this human journey. Every answer, every solution, every bit of guidance. You just temporarily forgot about that home to have this human experience. But home never left you. You never left home. Home is inside of you. Home is who you truly are. So you didn't come into this earthly human experience to fit in. You came here to experience making this your home. Now let's talk about the practical side of things. How do you make this life, this place, feel like home? Well, one of the clearest ways of creating home in this human journey is to dedicate yourself, commit yourself to becoming your higher self in human form. That's the work, not fixing that feeling of not belonging, but following it all the way back to who you truly are. When you make that your path, your mission, everything begins to shift. You stop feeling like a victim of your reality and you start consciously creating it. All the answers, all the guidance, all the clarity you'll ever need, it's all waiting for you on the other side of the veil in the non-physical realms through your connection to your higher self. Most of the people I work with, they feel some kind of past life connection to Lemuria. And often, when they start reconnecting or remembering their past lives, the memory of Lemuria just feels so idyllic, so loving that they long for it. And it often happens when they're following one of my guided meditations. Oh, this is the kind of world I want to live in. This human world, this place sucks. It's terrible. I want to be living in a place more like Lemuria. That feels like home to me. Now, why do you reckon they feel that way? Well, Lemuria feels more like home because that reality, that fifth dimensional, high vibrating, love-based, heart-centered, telepathic society was much closer to who you truly are as your higher self than your current human self. That's why the word Lemuria resonates so deeply with people who've had a lifetime there, because it's a shortcut to a soul memory that feels so much closer to your higher self than you do right now. The home you're longing for, it's a frequency that you're carrying. It's inside of you. You remember it. And that soul memory is one of the greatest gifts that you have. So have I convinced you that this feeling of not belonging or longing for home is not a problem? Are you starting to feel that this is actually an opportunity? The part of you that longs for home is the wisest part of you. So trust it, follow it. It knows exactly where it's leading you, where you want to go, and it's leading you home. I really want you to remember that you are a limitless being of light. That's who you are as your higher self, and that's who you are in this human form. You are powerful, you are wise, you are capable. You're here creating your own reality. The only question is, how much of this reality are you creating consciously, and how much are you creating it unconsciously? You know, when people talk about having blocks, this is exactly what it is. It's never a real mystery. There's just some story that you've been telling for years, or a belief that you've been hanging on to forever that keeps you stuck and limited. It's not a big deal. We all do it. These are just thoughts. And thoughts are just these wispy little things. You can easily replace an old thought that doesn't serve you with a new one that does. You can let go of a belief that is outdated and adopt a new one that truly serves you. And now that you're aware of all this, you can simply make a choice. Do you want to continue living like this, or do you want to do something different? Here's what I would love for you to do. Stop using that feeling that you don't belong here as an excuse for not feeling good in this lifetime, not thriving in this lifetime. You came here to thrive. You came here to consciously create a fulfilling life. But as long as you keep telling that story, I don't belong here, this isn't my place, you cut yourself off from the amazing potential that you have within you. And when you remember a place like Lemuria, when you remember that that kind of life is possible, you are here remembering it now so that you can create it here, not wish that you were back there or back someplace else. You came here to create it now, here in this lifetime, and you can. You know it's possible to live in a world of love and abundance and cooperation and compassion. You can create that world for yourself right here. If what I've shared here resonates with you, this is exactly the kind of work I do with my clients, helping you build a conscious connection to your higher self and the unseen realm so that you can consciously become more of your higher self in this human life. If you feel ready to explore that, I would love to talk. There's a link below to book a clarity session with me. Listen, no pressure, just an honest conversation about where you are and where you're ready to go next. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below and tell me, after watching this video, what new insight do you have about yourself? And what might you start doing differently starting today? Let me know. I love reading your comments. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, I send you my love and light from Lemuria. Aloha.